everybody, welcome back to the channel and more Blood and Plunder as we work our way through more of the French characters. Today we have Alexandre Bras de Fer, Iron Arm, so he's a 20-point character, so more on the cheaper side compared to some of the others that we have available to us, that is. Historic Commander, can lead any French Buccaneer force. We still get quite a few of special abilities for a 20-pointer, but where we can see the immediate reason for the discount in points is that he only has a 8-inch command range. So that is going to leave us lacking in some situations, but if we're essentially having him command a ship, right, he's more or less going to be able to cover most of the ship for us. So 8-inch command range, 2 command points though. It does give you the ability to have a brace of pistols or a buccaneer gun and melee weapon, but then you could have a pistol as a sidearm, so something to keep in mind there for your choices. But he does, even for a 20-point character, actually give us 4 abilities, whereas we have some more expensive characters that sometimes just have the 3. So let's dive in and see what we're getting for our investment here. So if you can't already tell, he's going to be a little bit better on amphibious games, naval games, right? Especially with coming with the broadside rule here. So all artillery fired during his activation are fired simultaneously, hence all count as the same range attack, and all dice for the shoot test are rolled simultaneously, which increases the chances of scoring hits. So if we're going to be playing on water at all, it's ideal if we can have a character that has broadside purely for that extra potential there for more crits. Lucky is another ability we haven't seen much of, really, across a lot of the characters so far. But basically, anytime his commander's force uses a fortune point for a reroll, the fortune point is not spent if the result of the reroll is not better than the original roll. So that can happen, of course, with the reroll. If we don't ultimately get what we want out of it, it's actually not spent. So it sucks still that we don't, improve our fortune, pun intended here, as far as what we wanted out of the reroll, but at the same time, we're not wasting ultimately the fortune point on top of it. So a pretty cool ability. Although ideally we want the reroll to be successful probably in most situations, right? Then Inspiring is a great one we've seen a lot of. So all friendly units within his command range, again, more or less going to be mostly like any vessel he commands, or if we're playing on land, right? It's going to be a pretty small area that our command range is going to extend to. So you might have a more compact force as far as how much you're going to spread out. But basically anybody within his command range may reroll any failed rally test when his unit is active. So if we're doling out some command points to tell people to rally, we get a free reroll out of that, which again is great. So we don't have to burn fortune, hopefully, on that kind of stuff anyway. And then finally, we get Lead by Example, which we've seen many times, and really just one of our favorite abilities. So if the unit that includes the commander causes an opposing unit to be removed from the game, casualties, or routing, all units in this commander's force may remove a point of fatigue. So really huge there. Again, if we can time things right, we've said this, across multiple videos, but if you can time the turn right with activations and ideally have the target of the commander's unit, whatever you're shooting at, or perhaps even fighting in hand-to-hand, already be severely weakened with some fatigue piled up, maybe not too many people left in the unit that you're targeting, and just get those awesome hits and casualties piled up on them even more. Maybe you can just out-fatigue them and cause them to rout, or just outright destroy the unit, and then you're getting that sort of blanket ability to trigger. So getting that as much as possible in a course of a game is going to be huge. Always a fun ability. So for 20 points, really the only letdown that we have is just that super small command range, guys. This guy's really a super value commander. So we know that we have the limitation of the command range, so we gotta act accordingly and figure out how much or how many units and what units we want to keep close by. But we can kind of mitigate some of the downside here and really just take advantage of what are otherwise 4 very strong abilities, and especially in a all-in-one package here with this commander. So Inspire is great, Lead by Example is great, Lucky again is going to be a little situational, but it's a nice little thing to have, and Broadside, of course, for our mostly naval actions, right? We're not going to necessarily have multiple cannons on land battles all the time. So yeah, all in all, fantastic little character for 20 points. Let us know, guys, if you have run Alexandre Bras de Fer in your games at all, and how that has gone for you. Have you found him to be worth the 20 points or not so much? I would imagine, hopefully, he has performed well. But let us know some of your stories in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll have more Blood and Plunder for you soon.